Hey, wanted to have a quick chat today. Been a while since I made a video, but I'm making another one. As it is, life makes you busy, and sometimes you forget. Sometimes you're a little bit too busy to make a video. But wanted to have a conversation about lining things. As many of the conversations that I have with you, it's all about order. It's all about understanding where your balance is, and this universe that God has created and being able to situate yourselves in that order at all times to avoid the devil, avoid sin, and avoid just basically just living a horrible life. So wanted to have a conversation to say that if you understand certain orders about yourself, you can understand orders about everybody else. You can understand quickly how they are out of order. If a person loses sight of their humanity, they think like a beast. They react like a beast. So humanity always comes first. If you lose sight, and I can speak for myself, and again, just because you're not included in this conversation doesn't mean that you're excluded from this conversation. So now that I said that, I want you to understand that me as a black man, a American man, born in America, an American citizen of descent of slaves, that I have to understand that I move according to laws, written and unwritten, to not only be able to understand who I am as a man, as a black man, but then be able to know what is against me as a black man. Now, after that, you have to understand that you are a Christian. And for those who are not Christian, again, you are who you are. Just because you're not included in this conversation doesn't mean you're excluded. But I do wish for you to get to know the Lord. It's a wonderful feeling. But as a Christian person, if you move and you think as a Christian person in all facets of your life, that does not mean that you're not going to sin. That does not mean that you're not going to make mistakes. That does not mean that you're going to, always stay within God's order. What that means is that you have made a conscious decision to try to keep yourself aligned to what God has intended for you. If you make that conscious effort, excuse me, if you make that conscious effort, then people don't have the ability to separate you from God. They don't have the ability to separate you from God's design. They don't have the ability to place you in situations where God cannot be an influence on your life. So if you make things about the lack of humanity, if you want to put your humanity aside, you fail. As a black person, if I put my information that I was born as a black man, that I live in a society that often does things against black people, particularly black men, for unjust reasons, just because of hatred, then I lose. If I lose my sense of being a Christian man and I think unlike a Christian man, then I lose. But if I keep all of those intact and have them operating as a form of a Trinity, not the Trinity, don't get it twisted, but I have them operating as a form of a Trinity, then I can be the best form of myself for my family, my friends, and society as a whole. Do not let anybody separate you from your humanity. Do not let anybody separate you from your identity. And then do not let anybody separate you from your religion, your faith. Let me go ahead and say that. Do not let anybody separate you from your faith. So, with that understood, you now understand how to move a little bit better in this world. So when it comes to money, you're not going to let that get in contact or separate you from your humanity, who you are, your identity, and your Christianity. When it comes to intimacy And I'll just say intimacy because you can insert whatever it is that you want to sit here and think. You're not going to allow that to separate you from your humanity, your identity, and your Christianity. So, if you do what God has asked of you, you won't fail. Ever. It may not seem like you're always winning, but you are always winning. Because I want you to understand this. The devil always has a game that you can play. And just like a casino, you might think you're winning, but the house always wins in the end. So don't play the devil's games. All right. You be good, stay good, live righteously, do the right things for the right reasons. And number one, give praise to Most High, because God has your world. God has the ability to have your world unlocked to a greater place than you would have ever realized if you allow him to do what he is intended to do with you. All right. Stay blessed. All right. Love you. Take care.